Picture this. You're standing on the sprawling frozen plains of the Eurasian steppe, just east of the Ural Mountains. For centuries, historians treated this landscape as a footnote, a brutal, unforgiving wasteland where ancient nomadic people just tried to survive the winter. We were told there were no grand kings here, no advanced architecture, no great cities. But history has a funny way of proving us wrong. Our story starts in 1987, and it almost ended before it began. The Soviet government was in the middle of a massive engineering project. They planned to flood a valley in the Chelyabinsk region to build a reservoir, but before the waters could rush in, a team of archaeologists doing a routine aerial survey noticed something strange. Etched into the earth were massive, near-perfect concentric circles. At first, officials brushed it off. They thought it was just a strange natural formation or maybe a medieval military camp. They gave the order, flood the valley, but the archaeologists knew they had found something monumental. In a move of incredible defiance, scientists and students literally stood in front of the bulldozers. They protested, they petitioned, and they delayed the dam project just long enough to start digging. And when they finally broke ground, what they found shocked the world. They didn't find a temporary camp. They found a fortress. This was Arkaim. Built around 2000 BC, roughly the same time the Middle Kingdom of Egypt was flourishing. This city was an absolute masterpiece of Bronze Age engineering. It was enclosed by two massive circular walls built of timber and mud brick, but it's what was inside those walls that makes Arkaim so special. Think of the city like a giant wagon wheel. About 60 rectangular homes were arranged in a perfect circle, radiating out from a central square. But here's where the human element really hits you. Imagine trying to survive a freezing Russian winter 4,000 years ago. These people didn't just survive, they thrived. Every single house had its own well, a cellar for food storage, and amazingly, a metallurgical furnace. These furnaces provided central heating for the families sleeping inside, while doubling as workshops to melt and cast bronze. This wasn't just a town, it was an ancient industrial powerhouse. And beneath their feet, an advanced system of storm drains and sewers that rivaled the great cities of the Indus Valley thousands of miles away. But as researchers mapped out the city, they realized Arkaim had a second, almost magical purpose. When you look at the design, it's not just a city, it's an observatory. The gateways, the streets, and the walls were mathematically aligned to track the heavens. By standing in specific spots, the people of Arkaim could precisely track the summer and winter solstices, the equinoxes, and the phases of the moon. It had 18 distinct astronomical alignments. Think about that for a second. It's like Stonehenge, but instead of just visiting a monument, these people lived inside the calendar. Their daily lives, when to plant, when to hunt, when to pray, were perfectly harmonized with the universe, and we see this cosmic connection in the things they left behind. Archaeologists found pottery decorated with the swastika. Now, long before this symbol was tragically corrupted in the 20th century, it was one of humanity's oldest symbols for the sun, cosmic motion, and the turning of the seasons. To the people of Arkaim, this symbol represented the very cycle of life. So who were these ancient geniuses? Historians call them the Sintashta culture. And they weren't just stargazers, they were pioneers who literally changed how human beings fought and traveled. In the graves surrounding Arkaim, archaeologists found the remains of the world's oldest known spoke-wheeled chariots. The people who lived in these circular walls are believed to be the inventors of the chariot, a terrifying revolutionary technology that would soon sweep across the ancient world, from Egypt to China. The Sintashta weren't an isolated anomaly, they were the beating heart of a Bronze Age network, spreading language, metalwork, and technology across Eurasia. Which brings us to the ultimate haunting mystery of Arkaim. After about 200 years of prosperity, the city died. But it wasn't conquered by an invading army, and it didn't just crumble into ruin over time. Excavations revealed a massive, uniform layer of ash covering the entire site. All the evidence points to one chilling conclusion. The people of Arkaim packed up their belongings, walked out of their gates, and intentionally burned their own magnificent city to the ground. The immense timber walls would have created a colossal inferno visible for miles across the dark steppe. But why? Imagine building a marvel of science and architecture, only to set a torch to it. Was it a sacred ritual, a way of cremating the city once its astrological cycle was complete? Was it a desperate scorched earth tactic to keep a rival tribe from claiming their home? Or did the climate change forcing them to move on? sealing their past behind a wall of fire? The ashes hide answers we may never fully uncover. But Arkaim leaves us with a profound lesson. History isn't a straight line, and it certainly isn't fully written. Beneath the dirt, the ice, and the oceans, countless other chapters of the human story are just waiting for someone brave enough to stand in front of the bulldozer and start digging. So, what do you think happened in Arkaim's final days? Was that fire a sacred, beautiful ritual, or a desperate act of survival? I want to hear your theories, so drop them down in the comments. I'll be reading and replying to the most interesting ones. If you loved uncovering this lost city, you're going to be blown away by what archaeologists just found buried in the Amazon rainforest. Click the video on your screen right now to check that out. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.